Rhea stood frozen before the door, the soft thrum of her heartbeat loud in her ears. Her wedding day had passed in a blur, a whirlwind of laughter, traditions, and flashing lights. Now, as she stood on the threshold of her hotel room with Arjun, her new husband, there was an unmistakable tension in the air. It wasn't the kind of tension that came from fear or doubt, but from anticipation. The kind that hung heavy with the weight of new beginnings. She had imagined this night 1,000 times in her head. They had spent months apart, each day building up to this moment. But now that it was here, words felt too small. Everything felt both familiar and unknown. Arjun, seeing her hesitate, smiled warmly and held the door open wider. "Rhea," he said gently, his voice low, "come in. We've been waiting for this, haven't we?" She nodded, a small smile tugging at her lips, and stepped into the room. The lights were dim, the soft glow of lamps casting long shadows across the bed and the walls. For a brief moment, the silence felt almost sacred. The world outside felt miles away, and the only thing that mattered was the space they now shared, the space where they would build their future. Arjun closed the door behind them and took her hand, leading her toward the bed. The nerves in her stomach danced, but in his touch, she found calm. His steady presence always grounded her, always made her feel safe. This night was their first step into the life they had dreamed about. And yet, it felt as though they had been waiting for this moment forever. "Are you nervous?" Rhea asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Arjun chuckled softly and ran his fingers through his hair. "I think we're both a little nervous," he admitted. "But that's okay. Tonight is for us." She met his gaze and felt a rush of emotions overwhelm her. He had always been the steady one in their relationship, calm, collected, and reassuring. She had always admired that about him, but tonight in this room, she needed him more than ever. Tonight wasn't about the perfect kiss or the grand gestures. It was about something deeper, something only the two of them shared. "I've been thinking about this night for so long," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "But now that it's here, I don't know where to start." Arjun smiled softly, his fingers gently brushing a strand of hair from her face. "It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be us. No expectations, no pressure, just love." Her heart skipped a beat. His words wrapped around her like a blanket of warmth, easing the anxiety she hadn't even known she was carrying. She realized then that tonight was more than just the culmination of years of love and waiting. It was about the bond they shared, the unspoken understanding between them, the trust that had been built over time. "Rhea," Arjun said, his voice soft but full of emotion. "I've wanted this night, wanted you for so long. But I've always wanted to make sure we're ready. And now I know we are. You're everything I've ever wanted. And tonight is just the beginning of everything we're going to build together." Her eyes glistened with unshed tears, and she couldn't help but reach for him. She didn't need words to express how she felt. Her hands, her heart, her very soul reached out to him. When their lips finally met, it was slow and tender. It was a kiss that spoke of love, of patience, and of the quiet longing that had passed between them in the years of distance.